Hello, I'm Uban Rascaban and welcome back to Jade Empire. So last session we defeated the evil warlord who was attacking two rivers with a load of bandits, including having to fight some ghosts. So let's continue back to this minigame, shall we? Well, game, shall we? Okay, so we're back. Let's go over here and talk to this man. So it's more of your tongue. So, cursed bandits, let their spirits lay trouble for all they have done. Some good people fell here, but thanks to you, not so many as might have. And my statue, it's a good thing they didn't touch it. Disgracing such a tribute would be like disgracing the Emperor himself. A fitting tribute to our leader, Emperor's son, although no one else seems to be interested in venerating his rule. I don't have the back for cleaning it properly anymore. I guess that's why they called me Old Ming. Might I ask you some questions? Not many people seem interested in what Old Ming has to say, even if I've been here longer than anyone. What do you want anyway? Make it snappy. At my age, I could die at the drop of a blossom. Okay, so let's ask about Two Rivers then. So what are your thoughts on Two Rivers? A few scruffy bandits and their mysterious leader show up, and suddenly everyone's pestering me about the village, like it's important. Who are the important citizens? That would depend on who you ask. I suspect everyone would cast a single vote for themselves. Well, I guess that makes sense, because they'd view themselves as important. So, give me your opinion then. So, generally, it's Master Lee, our master of the temple. Okay then. He teaches a lot around the school. But then there's Gujin, the weapon master, who helps out a lot around the town, making him probably the most well-liked man around. Oh, okay. So there's still the merchant vendor, which we need to meet. Who's not gonna strike it rich in Two Rivers, let's face it. Alright. So what do you know about Master Lee? A wise and skilled man. He has kept the peace in this village for 20 years, like it was set in stone. How did Master Lee come here? I don't know. He has never talked about what transpired him to bring him here, or why he arrived with you under his arm. Okay, so that's interesting. So when Master Lee came here, he brought us as well. So we've been here just as long as each other. I remember he seemed quite harried at the time, but he settled in quite quickly. He could see the potential of this place, I think. So, who was the master before Master Lee? Who was the one that actually created the lion statue? It was so long ago. What was his name? Konsai Songgang? I think it was. If that was it. So was more concerned with trade than anything else. So he seems more like he's trying to get more money, unlike our Master Lee. So Master Lee sets the village on a different path, and shortly afterwards, Song Gang has left. They don't know what became of him. Let's go back to my other questions. So he's telling us to wake him up if he falls asleep. Tell me about the Emperor. So he really likes this Emperor, and if he doesn't dare speak because he would feel he's injusticing the Emperor by speaking. Okay, so he ended the drought, which happened several years ago. So is the Emperor neglecting the borderlands then? I would never suggest such a thing. He will simply have greater concerns elsewhere. That's understandable, if there's anything happening with all these ghosts around or anything like that. So, okay. Yes. So Master Lee believes that because the Emperor is not paying attention, no one else is going to pay attention. So that's quite useful. So can we talk about a bit about the past? Good on you. History is best taught through stories. A teacher lecturing about the past is like listening to paper crumple when you want to hear a waterfall. Everything is lost in translation. So what do you know about the spirit world? Perhaps you think I have an affinity for spirits, since I am close to becoming one myself. I am not that old yet. I keep my feet towards the earth and my head as straight in the opposite direction as I can manage. I wish others were as practical. I have heard many ghost stories lately. Travellers of the road or watching spirits. I am quicker to blame that on bowls of Rhine than a glut of the dead. So tell me about the long drought. So you are too young to know what it was like. A decade of thirst with all the lands cracked and bare. It was worse than the great cities. Alright, so it seems like the entire world seemed to have dried up at one point. Riots claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. Emperor Sun Hai put all his influence towards ending the drought and saved us all, but there was a cost. I don't know where the front line was or the name of the enemy, but the Emperor's own brothers, Sun Qin and Sun Li, were lost. Interesting. Okay. So the Emperor was one of 3 brothers, and his brothers have mysteriously died in this drought. Fighting against the enemy, obviously they must have died gloriously. So what really happened? As I said, the Emperor created the great events over heavens that had afflicted, and the Empire had thus entered the drought. So maybe as a sacrifice to the heavens, he gave his own 2 brothers' lives. Maybe. It's possible. I don't know. And apparently that's not enough of an answer for us. Alright. In time, you will understand that the Emperor must deal with things that you are not meant to comprehend. You accept that, but you're too practical for ghosts? I have faith in the order of things. The Emperor knows things that I am not meant to. For example, what's happening in the capital city's palace right now, which he has no clue on because he's here instead. Okay. That is a pretty good analogy as well. If a fisherman sends his catch to the market, does the customer need to know how to fish? No, he just knows that someone else does. That is the order of things. It is real, and I know it works. Ghosts and shadows are tavern tales. Okay. So how was the Empire formed? So the Empire was forged out of warring countries by the iron will and inestimable might of sagacious steel. So it's a conqueror, taking over several countries. So, Titanic battles, tense negotiations, he brought harmony to the chaotic world and created a single culture that stands tall over all others. I see. Let's go back to my other questions. Can we talk about your a bit about the past? We've already asked about that. So tell me a bit about yourself. How long have you actually lived in Two Rivers? So very little has changed, okay? So what do you do? Right, so his son has moved, gone down to the Golden Delta, which is another fertile place. Okay. Right, so he's planning on moving if he gets any older or weaker. Interesting. So why are you sweeping the beach? Okay. So he's turned it into a grand meditation garden where the contemplative man can see pathways of the future in the lay of the sand. Interesting. Oh, he's just trying to keep busy and pointlessly sweeping the beach in order to give himself a purpose. Interesting. Let's go back to my other questions. Goodbye for now. Okay, so that was Old Ming, everybody. And here's the statue of Emperor Sun Hai. We may visit him or see him inevitably on our long quest. But that is something to find out in the future. So yeah, we can't swim. Shame really. Or at least we can't even get into the freaking water. Let's move back on. See if we can find Pendo. We roll. Alright.
It's a good thing we have Master Li here.
Okay, so
Don't forget his senior student. They say he's the one who dealt with many of the bandits.
Wait, which one do you mean? Surely not that arrogant Gao boy.
Gao? Of course not. No, he's the one in those striking robes with his hair shaved off. He's a handsome devil, that one.
So, as you can see, apparently I'm handsome. With the 9 dots pointed onto my forehead. Alright.
I did not know Master Li was so powerful. Why would such a man stay here?
To look after this poor, peaceful village, obviously. Or just to give me some... give these students a chance to defend themselves. I don't know.
It is very strange that those bandits tried to attack us. They are not usually so bold.
I'm sorry for any noises I am making in this nice video. I do have a bit of a cold at the moment. Okay, so this is Fendor, the merchant.
Those bandits will think twice before threatening a town protected by the likes of Master Li. They were fools to even come here.
Okay.
The only shame is that their ship sunk. Think what we could have done with their plunder. Ah, well, that's another opportunity lost. In this town, it's vital for a businessman to keep tabs on anyone with 2 coins to rub together. Things haven't been this slow since the long drought. That master of yours keeps things ludicrously stable while merchants thrive on strife. During the long drought, prices rocketed into the sky like fireworks.
Alright, so you don't like Master Lee's leadership?
I can't say that. He's a wise man who sees to the heart of things. If I were to complain about anything, it's how few students he attracts. A skilled master could bring a lot of people into this town, but he is very selective about who comes. That's his business, I'm sure, but it affects my business as well.
Alright, so he wants more people. There's no here to be found in stability.
I get by. I suppose I shouldn't wish for strife lest it come knocking on my door. Besides, the bandits didn't do as much to bring people to the store as I hoped. So maybe stability is underrated.
Let's talk about what you can do for me.
Happily. We don't need to waste time on my gripes when there's silver to be spent.
I want to ask you a few things about the Jade Empire.
I've never set my eyes beyond the horizon you can see from here. There must be someone else you could ask.
Okay. Let's go back to... Tell me about the long drought, since you're a merchant. And you seem to think that there was a lot of higher prices back then.
I grew up during the worst of it, but I don't remember much. Just the joy when the Emperor put an end to it. Two Rivers was almost deserted by that time, but Master Li arrived soon after, and we've had peace ever since.
Okay. How was the drought stopped?
I don't know. That's why the Emperor is the Emperor, and I'm content to be here. I don't need to worry about it.
So no one seems to know. Okay. So, let's go back to the other questions.
If you wish, what do you want to know?
So, what do you actually have for sale?
I have nothing at the moment. I can't keep my stock up. People are scared to travel, which prevents goods from getting here. I must apologize.
How can you call yourself a merchant if you have nothing to sell?
I do what I can, but the ghosts and bandits limit travel. They viciously force many caravans to turn back.
Ah, dear.
To hear some of the caravan masters talk, there are problems of this type all over the Empire. I will be sure to let you know as soon as anything comes to town.
Okay, so goodbye for now then.
Do come back when the weight of your silver is slowing you down. Always happy to help.
Well, you would be, but you don't actually have anything to give me, so therefore you aren't going to take my silver off me. Bye-bye. Let's go to see if Gujin's actually got anything to sell, shall we? He might not. It's worthwhile asking.
Good job with those ruffians. Those bandits weren't gentle with this town. I'm going to help out with some of the repairs.
Okay.
I'm just glad you two got a chance to try those weapons out for real. Looks like they handled themselves well. Just like you two.
Well, you say that, but... Okay, but I shouldn't let you get back to work. I think I will end up keeping the spear.
You're right.
Because it's got a
There's
longer
plenty
reach.
to do.
So, let's continue. Let's go to the... Alright, so let's go to our journal then. The Master's teaching. So we're going to return to Master Lee. Alright guys, so we'll go back to Master Lee in the next episode. Thank you for watching. I'm Uban Rascaban. Goodbye.